Shalom, everybody. Welcome back. We're continuing with where we left off in Reb Noson's Likutey Halakhot, his discourse based on Likutey Moharan, lesson 24. The laws of, in section Orach Chaim, the laws of Nefilat Apayim, falling on one's face after the Shemona Esrei prayer of Shachar and Mincha. We're still in paragraph number 13. Okay, and we left off with this amazing question Reb Noson asked about the famous dictum quoted from the verse, Kol asher diber Hashem naaseh v'nishma, that when Hashem told Moshe, to receive the Torah, are you willing to receive the Torah? And to bring them into the oath, the covenant to follow the Torah. The Jewish people responded to Moshe Rabbeinu to tell to Hashem, Kol asher diber Hashem naaseh v'nishma, everything which Hashem spoke we will naaseh, we will do, and then we will listen. And the famous question asked by everybody, how could you do before listening what you're being told to do? So Reb Noson answered the question that really the verse answers it, because the verse reads, Kol asher diber Hashem, everything which Hashem will speak to us through you, Moshe Rabbeinu. So already we have dibur of being told what to do, and then naaseh, we will do. So the question now Reb Noson is asking, what is nishma? And what is the big deal that the Jewish people said Naaseh v'nishma? Why does the Torah make such a big noise that they said we will? They first said we will do and then we will listen. If we see in the verse already that they are doing after listening, because the verse reads Kol asher diber, everything that Hashem says to do, we will do. So what's the shevach? Reb Noson asks, what is the greatness, the praise of the Jewish people that they do first Naaseh and then nishma? So Reb Noson now is going to answer the question where we left off last class. And before we go on, if you do enjoy these classes, please share them with others. Thank you. So Reb Noson reads like this. He writes like this. To answer. Ach be'emet ha'inyan mevo'ar hetev al pi hanizkar da'el. However, in the truth, to answer this question, this concept of what's the praise, in other words, what is the greatness of the Jewish people in saying Naaseh v'nishma, can be understood clearly based on what we've been saying until now of the greatness of the Jewish people, that they jump in. They don't ask questions. When we're told what to do, we do it without saying, wait, let me understand it first. I want to absorb the idea. I want to intellectually analyze it, and then I'll go in. No. That's a goyish attitude. That's the goyim. Jewish attitude is my emunah is in the front, is first and foremost, is my emunah. I'm told what to do, I do it. Yalla, go in. Okay? So that's what we said earlier. Now watch how it fits in. Ki ze ikar ma'alat kedushat Yisrael b'bechina nizkar. Just now is re-emphasizing. Because this attitude of we do first without understanding fully what it is we're doing, we're just told what to do, we do it and then we'll understand. This is the essence of the greatness of the holiness of the Jewish people. This is what makes us unique. Is we would start now, okay, so let's take a course in university, Judaism 101, Jewish philosophy, and then we'll commit. No, we jump in, emunah, period. And then we'll understand. But I run on diesel fuel of emunah, and that's what gets me going to do things. Not, I have to understand it, I have to delve and everything, okay? Fine? Because this is the essence of the stature, the status of the holiness of the Jewish people, like we just mentioned in this concept. And he explains Reb Noson, Dahainu, in other words, to re-clarify. Yisrael amru שהם אינם רוצים לחקור שום חקירה בטעמי המצוות ובדרכי השגתו והנהגותיו יתברך. Reb Noson is amazing. In other words, that when the Jewish people made this proclamation, okay, of Naaseh v'nishma, Parshat Mishpatim, like we saw, okay, that the Jews said we will do and then we will listen. When they made that proclamation, they were saying that they don't want, this is what they're actually saying, we want to commit, and this is coming from us. Shem enam, and that's why they were praised, because it was coming from them. This is the following attitude. Shem enam rotzim lachakor shum chakira, that they don't want to analyze and go into some investigation of any analysis to delve in the meaning behind the mitzvot. Why the tefillin black? Why boxes? Why the parshiot, 4 parshiot? Why the shofar? Why Yom Kippur? Why the tzitzit? Why kashrut? Why shatnez? No, they don't want to go into and analyze and investigate intellectually an analysis, okay, of the meaning behind the mitzvot and in the ways of Hashem's perception. Okay, like try to understand how Hashem is thinking, chas v'shalom, right? V'anhagot David barach, and Hashem's conduct with us. We're not into that. Rather, rak kol asher daber Hashem naaseh miyad. Rather, what do we want? What are we, the Jewish people, taking upon ourselves? That everything in which Hashem will speak, we will do immediately. No questions asked. I'm all yours, Hashem. I'm all yours, Moshe Rabbeinu. I'm committed. You tell me to do A, I'll do A. You tell me to do B, I'll do B. This is the greatness of Am Yisrael. That's what the Torah is praising. That even though the Jewish IQ is very high and they have the capacity to intellectually delve into the mitzvot, and that possibly will strengthen, still the Jewish people say, no, we're not willing, even though we're capable of doing that, we don't want to do that. We want to commit with simple, straightforward, honest, pure faith to serve Hashem. And we're going to see that all this emanates because of their simcha. When a Jew is besimcha, you don't have to convince him. When a person is happy, you make a person happy. That's it. It's easy going. I'm in. I have emunah. So too, when a Jew is happy with his connection to Hashem, he doesn't so much investigate. He leaves it for afterwards, B'ezrat Hashem. Okay? That's what we're saying. Rak kol asher yidaber Hashem na'aseh miyad techef bli shum she'ela v'chakira klal. Okay? Immediately, without any questioning and investigation at all. V'chakach v'nishma. Amazing. And afterwards, this word, v'nishma. Now Rav Noson explains, what is v'nishma? So he's saying, afterwards comes the stage of v'nishma, which we already understand, meaning that I will begin to understand. Understanding was nishma. So Rav Noson proves it. Watch. Ki nishma leshon havana balev. Rav Noson writes, the wording nishma doesn't just mean I will listen and hear. That's it. Nishma translates as have an understanding in the heart. You know, there's like someone tells you stand up, you stand up. Sit down. That's listen. That's hearing. You hear something and it gets in and you know what to do like a robot. Okay, but now that's hearing. Listening is havana, meaning now I'm listening with understanding. Listen, like we say, listen carefully, right? And listening is connected to the heart. It's Havana, which is in the heart. That's from the Patach Eliyahu, from the Zohar, the introduction to the Tikkunei Zohar, where Eliyahu Navi says, Bina liba uba halev mevin. Bina, understanding, is in the heart, and with the faculty of uba halev mevin, with the sphera of Bina, which is understanding, the heart understands, and that comes through listening, though. Okay, so Rav Noson saying Nishma translates as Havana Balev. So already we have a picture. Kol asher diber Hashem, everything which Hashem tells us to do, put on tefillin like this. Shabbat, Yom Kippur, Tzitzit, Tzedakah, Maaser, no milk and meat, Shatnez, all that. Okay, I know what to do. Boom, 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 boom. Naaseh, I'm doing immediately. Kol asher diber Hashem, Naaseh. And then afterwards, Nishma. Afterwards, I will understand what I'm doing. First do, and then understand. Okay? That's what he's saying here. But now Rav Noson wants to show us that Nishma is Havana. Kamevuar beperush Rashi, as Rashi brings down, in a most beautiful place. The source Rashi brings this down is, believe it or not, in Parshat Miketz. Let's take a look. When Pharaoh had the dreams, and he was going nuts about the interpretation, what does it mean? And then the Sar Hamashkim, the king's wine steward, reminded the Pharaoh, you know, I was in jail, and in our cell was a slave, an Israeli Hebrew slave. who properly interpreted our dreams that we had, me and the king's baker, okay? So Paro called out Yosef, he came out. So the verse reads in Parashat Miketz, the beginning of Sheni, right? This is verse 41, chapter 41, verse 15 in Miketz. Vayomer Paro el Yosef. So Paro said to Joseph, Chalom chalamti, I dreamt a dream. Upfoter enoto, and I can't find, I don't have anyone to properly interpret it. V'ani shamati alecha lemor, and I heard about you, regarding you, the following, saying, Tishma, here's the word, Tishma chalom liftoroto. You can hear, the literal translation of the verse is hear, you can H-E-A-R, a dream, and liftoroto, to interpret it properly. So Rashi, this is the Rashi that the Reb Noson is quoting here, okay? Tishma chalom liftoroto. Look how Rashi translates the word Tishma. You will listen to a dream and properly in order to interpret it. So Rashi says Tishma means ta'azin v'tavin. You can hear the message of the dream and understand v'tavin. See, Rashi is translating Tishma, which is Nishma. We will listen. We will Nasa v'nishma, right? So I will listen and understand Chalom liftoroto. So Rashi, he just filled in the word Tishma. Rashi fills in Ta'azin v'tavin. You will listen, you Joseph can listen and understand the dream to properly interpret it. And Rashi goes on, Tishma, Leshon Havana v'Hazana. Tishma is the grammatical language of understanding and listening. It's funny because Rashi first said Ta'azin v'tavin, listen. You can listen to a dream and then understand it. And here Rashi switches the order. Tishmaz, Lashon Havana, understanding and listening. But he shows proofs now, Kamo Shomea Yosef, Asher lo tishma leshono, and in Old French, entendre, entendre, listening, okay? That you can listen and with understanding. You listen with the heart. Hearing is with the ear. Listening is with the heart, which means it's coupled with understanding. So Reb Noson's beautiful proof. Okay? Fine. Nishma Lashon Havana, Kamuvar Beperush Rashi, like we saw here in Rashi in Genesis, Parshat Miketz. And also, Uv Divrei Raboteinu Zal Bechama Mekomot, also the sages in the Gemara, in several places, they interpret Shmiya as understanding, right? It's a Gemara here, it's in Brachot. You have a Gemara in Brachot, page 40b. It's an amazing Gemara. Just listen to the Gemara so you can understand the idea. It's amazing. The Gemara says like this, that Vayomer im shamua tishma lekol Hashem Elokecha. The Gemara is opening this verse up, right? It's a verse, it's in from Shemot, and Hashem says, im shamua tishma lekol Hashem. If listen, you will listen to the voice of Hashem, your Lord, right? So that Hashem's like making a promise. If you, the Jewish people, will listen to the Torah, right? So then I will do 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the verse there in Shemot. But the rabbis in the Gemara, they're opening up the redundancy. Why the double language, the double lashon, shamoa tishma. And Hashem said, im shamoa tishma lekol Hashem. It's Moshe Rabbeinu really talking there. And Moshe said, if listen, you will listen lekol Hashem Elokecha. What's shamoa tishma? So like this, im shamoa tishma. If now you will want to listen, you will hear more. V'im lav lo tishma. If now you are ready to listen, you will listen to more. Tishma. So it's, in other words, it's listening, but it's being internalized to understand the Torah they're interpreting. Okay? If you don't listen the first time, lo tishma, you won't be able to hear more things in life. The Gemara goes on, davar acher, another explanation, which is like when they say davar acher, mean they give you a better explanation. Im shamoa, if you listen to old Torah, in other words, you go over it, and you go over it again and again, and it's until it's old, okay, tishma, you will discover new insights, as opposed to someone who's just trying to cover ground, and he never does review. The Gemara praises the idea of reviewing, okay? That review is so amazing because allows you to discover new points, as opposed to the person says, "Oh, I learned this already. I learned this already." He never does review, so he's lacking. He won't have the merit to discover new insights, because when you go over what you learned already, so it's enhanced. You pick up new points. But all this Gemara, okay, it's pointing out that Tishma means learning, understanding. If you listen to learn, to understand, Tishma, newer ideas, okay? So the Gemara is pointing out that Shmiya means to learn with understanding. That's what it's saying. If you don't listen to learn, not just letting the words come in. Oh, I heard it already. It's to pay attention to it. That's what it's saying. Yashan, Chadash, etc. Okay? So Rav Noson brings proof that Nishma means understanding. So now it's a different ball game now on Na'aseh v'Nishma. So how do we now interpret it? Look how Rav Noson now goes back to give you the whole picture now. And like I just said, we just brought two examples, Brachot, page 40a, and also Eruvin. There's a Gemara in Eruvin, page 102, where one rabbi, he said, I never heard this interpretation. It's the wording appears in many places in the Gemara. So the one rabbi said to the other one, he said like this, it's on page Eruvin, page 102b, he said to me, La shemi ali, I never heard this. Kalomar, the Gemara is saying, in other words, La svirali. What does it mean? I never heard this. I never thought and understood the way that you're explaining it. So the Gemara says clearly svara, which is the Aramaic expression of understanding, is shmiya. When the rabbi said to them, "When la shmi ali," I never heard this. What does it mean? I never heard this. Meaning, kalomar, I never understood it this way. So shmiya and understanding, svara. Okay, so you have places all over in the Torah, and this phrase appears like another 6 places in the Shas, in the Talmud. Okay, so Reb Noson has like solidified for us to understand that nishma means understanding. Not now like we understood, first we will do and then we will listen. Come on, we will do and we listen. Doesn't make sense. Now it's a different ball game. Kol asher diber Hashem, whatever Hashem told us to do, we'll do it. And afterwards, v'nishma, that's the greatness of the Jewish people. That's the greatness of Israel. We jump in to do, no questions asked. Let's see how Reb Noson nicely expresses it, okay? Beautifully, clearly. Okay? Hainu. In other words, sheYisrael amru, shekol asher yidaber Hashem yasu miyad. In other words, the Jewish people said that whatever Hashem spoke to do, we will do immediately, miyad, immediately. Because it's kol asher diber Hashem, on that na'aseh. So Reb Noson saying the juxtaposition of the wording indicates that it's immediate. It's not like later on. Okay, Hashem spoke, and then I'll take 10 years to get back and do it. No, immediately. Okay? Yasu miyad, kfi asher yetze mipi Moshe Rabbeinu. As it comes out from the mouth of Moshe Rabbeinu what to do, the commandment, we do, period. Bli shum chakira u'she'ela achar shum ta'am klal. Without any sophisticated analysis and investigation and any questions for any meaning. Okay, why? We're not going to say, and why Hashem why Moshe Rabbeinu do we have to do the tefillin like this, and why? Ask the why afterwards. You first do, and then ask. We're not saying you're not going to ask. You're going to ask after you show your commitment of doing. As opposed to the person, before doing, okay, and what's the meaning of this? We're not like that. Sorry, that's for the goyim. That's a goyish mentality. If you're a Jew thinking like that, then you have a goyish mentality. Jewish mentality is emunah first. I'm a student. I have humility. I accept what Moshe Rabbeinu and the tzaddikim are telling me to do. I do. No questions asked. No, okay, let's try to figure this out and everything on the side. Push that on the side. No for that, okay? Bli shum chakia u'she'ela achar shum ta'am klal. I don't want any reasoning. I want to be told what to do. I'll do it. Afterwards I ask. V'achar kach, and he says more than this, and afterwards, thanks to doing that, you will v'nishma. You'll merit understanding. Because if you don't do that, you'll never understand. The people who stay stuck, okay, can you explain it to me please? What's this mean that? In the end, they never get to understand. Because they never jumped in to do. You didn't jump in to do, so you don't merit to understand. Sorry, you lost out, buddy. You lose out. Okay? He says, Reb Noson, "V'achakach al yedei zeh," through the commitment of doing without asking questions, v'nishma, you will zoche, you'll merit to understand. And he explains now, Reb Noson, he puts it down, it's so amazing. Ki, al yedei asiyat hamitzvot be'emet, bitmimut, besimcha. 4, Reb Noson is establishing now, through doing the mitzvot with truth, sincerity. Okay? No, now I want to understand and this and that. No chametz, like we said earlier. No chametz in the brain. Okay, bitmimut, very simple. Okay, straightforward, honest, and in a simple and in a joyous attitude. So sincere honesty, simplicity, and joy. By doing mitzvot like that, okay, and you and the proof, the sign that you're doing mitzvot with truth, sincerity, truth, honesty, and simplicity and joy, is that you do it without asking questions. You're told what to do, you do. That's the sign that you're happy. I'm committed. I'm all yours. Okay. Zochin achar kach lahasig ma shemasigin. This is the gateway to merit afterwards, that you reach to perceive the highest perceptions. It reminds me of Rabbi Nachman's story of the Chacham and the Tam, the simpleton and the sophisticated and the simpleton. The simpleton reached such a high level of understanding because of his simple attitude, and everybody liked him because of that. And he reached higher levels of capacity of understanding, surpassing even the sophisticated. Okay? That's the key. You merit afterwards to perceive what to perceive. And this is an amazing point. That's why this lesson is so powerful. Lesson 24, Likutey Moharan. Rabbi Nachman shows us that by being happy, you literally reach the highest levels. Highest levels means when you have a lot of frustrations in life, a lot of challenges, and you're frustrated because of the challenges, simcha is the key to begin to perceive and advance. You want to get things moving in the right direction, you have to work on being b'simcha, happy. And then doing the mitzvah with joy, which is reflected by doing without asking questions. Then, number one, you'll understand deeper meaning in the mitzvot. And number two, you'll begin to understand deeper meaning in your life. What are you going through? What's the meaning of what you're going through? Why was this difficult? Why is this difficult? How do I get out and everything? Phenomenal. Unbelievable. It's an amazing lesson. It's one of the unique lessons. Rabbi Nachman shows the product, the result of simcha. That you reach to perceive ma shemasigin. You can't even explain it because it's unexplainable. It's only pertainable, the perception, to the person who's working on being happy. Al yedei shezoch, and explains now, and how does that work? How does that happen? That by doing the mitzvot with honesty and sincerity and simplicity and joy, that you merit to perceive what you perceive. What bridges that? What connects this A to B? So there's an in-between point. It's because the joy, the tmimut and the emet that you do the mitzvot, you do the naaseh without asking questions. It shows that you have joy, and it allows you to perceive what you perceive, which is, in other words, the infinite light in your personal life. Amazing. The reason why, you want to know the reason why you merit to afterwards understand? Why do you merit to afterwards to understand? And to have a proper understanding of what's happening and the deeper meaning of the mitzvot and everything? Because you merited to rectify the control, the power of the mind to be settled. Once the mind is settled, all the pieces of the puzzles go into place and you have clarity. You can see clear. Now comes nishma. Before doing the mitzvah, so the mind is mumbled, it's mixed up. What gets it moving? You do the mitzvot immediately, which shows joy. That joy of doing the mitzvot activates the mind's faculty, the mind's power of settling. And once the mind is settled, you can see clearly what other people can't. Because they're trying to see clarity from a mumbled, mixed up mind. The puzzle is not settled. And in a mixed puzzle, they're trying to understand. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. We need to settle the mind first. The power, the faculty of settling the mind is a result of simcha. And simcha is reflected in doing the mitzvot without any questions asked. That's the sign, that is the indicator, it's the barometer of joy. That you're doing mitzvah without asking questions. Not like, okay, I want to understand and this and that. No, I jump in, that shows that I have simcha. Even if I have difficulties in life, but I have simcha, I know that there's a purpose, there's a goal, there's a meaning, there's a direction, okay? So that allows you to have the mind settled. And once the mind is settled, nishma, you come to understand, okay? And he says now, what's the connection to joy? Why does joy lead to the faculty of the settled mind? He says, and this is the keter, by the way. So I didn't explain. This settling of the mind is what we call in the Kabbalah the crown. The keter is like a boundary, like a crown surrounds the head. It's like a boundary. So too, there's the mind not settled and the mind settled. The mind settled is activating what's called the keter. You now are bypassing the boundary. There was a boundary until now, but now because you've settled the mind, put the pieces of the puzzle in the right place, so now you've activated access to this level of the keter. Okay, now what does simcha have to do with that? So Reb Noson says, that's connected to simcha. Shesham mekor ha-simcha kayadua. Because as is known, the keter is the source of joy. Like the verse reads, it's a verse, v'simchat olam al rosham. And the joy of the world that was always there will be on their heads. It's a verse that the Gemara brings in Shabbat, okay, page 88, that when the Jews said, we will do and we will listen, they got 2 crowns, one for Naaseh, one for Nishma, and when they sinned in the golden calf, the Chet Egel, they lost the crowns, and Hashem, the Gemara goes on, and Hashem in the future is going to bring back the crowns to the Jewish people, like the verse reads, V'simchat olam al rosham, that the joy that was always there, the joy of the light of these crowns will be again, it's a verse on the prophecy of the future. Simchat olam, the joy that was always there, the joy of the light of these 2 crowns will be again restored to be on their heads. So joy and the ketarim, because the greatest joy in life is when you have clarity. When you have clarity, that's the root of all joy. But to come to that, you need emunah, which is already a prerequisite of joy, needed to connect to this ultimate high joy, which is complete comprehension, complete understanding, and no doubts. Okay? Shesham mekor ha-simcha kayadua. Okay? That there, the crown, the keter, is the root of joy. So because it's the root of the joy, you need a prerequisite joy to activate it. That's what he's saying. When you do mitzvah, that was the greatness of the Jewish people. They jumped in and said, we will do without asking questions. We will do. And why are we not asking questions? Because we're happy serving Hashem. We are honest and sincere and truthful in serving Hashem. And we're simple in serving Hashem. So that allows us to do naaseh. And because you jumped in, you get the nishma. And Hashem, and the Gemara explains that this is the greatness of the Jewish people. That they said first naaseh v'nishma, showing their simcha and their emunah in serving Hashem. And to that they merit to understand the highest, deepest things of the creation, of the mitzvah, the secrets of everything. Unbelievable. V'zeh godel ma'alat Yisrael. And this is the greatness of the Jewish people. This is our level. That we do things out of simcha and emunah, and that brings us to the highest levels. Unbelievable. We should be zocheh to use this lesson and apply it in our lives, and doing things simple, honest, sincerely, and with joy, doing the mitzvot, and then Hashem afterwards opens up the rest. Bezat Hashem.